Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing another coaching session for Dylan. This is going to be a Tristana game for the preseason, so thank you very much, as always, for the donation, Dylan, and thank you for your patience on this. And we'll go ahead and get going. So, Tristana, still pretty good in the preseason. I think that probably Ezreal, Vayne, and Twitch are probably a little bit better than Tristana, but Tristana's still really good. In the late game, after she gets her items, and you might even want to go Fleet Footwork on her now. I'm not sure. Press the attack's still pretty good, but Fleet's also pretty good. I'd have to crunch the numbers a bit more on that, but I think Press is still what you want for that late game, damage, and she can also trade pretty well in lane if you jump on somebody. If you get like a Leona to E onto somebody and chain CC him. So, I think Press is still worth it because you can get attacks in lane, or you can get kills in lane, potentially, whereas like Vayne and Twitch probably aren't, unless the enemy really screws up. So, I think just getting that extra heal from Fleet Footwork, especially after the buff on the most recent patch, 7.24b, makes Fleet a little bit better on them, but Triss is still pretty good. And the thing that's good about Triss, and I've already done a Triss video for Dylan, this is the second one that I'm doing here in the preseason for Dylan, is that she's very safe. So she has, her W to escape and her R to escape, and she scales really well because she gets extra range. She gets a huge steroid on her Q. I think it gives like 90% attack speed at max level, and she takes towers really quickly. And she has very good wave clear with her bomb. She has really good trading potential with her bomb. I mean, Trist was the most overpowered AD carry since, well, it was very close. Kalista was up there too. There were a few pretty good ones. Obviously, like Xayah with Rakan at Worlds and things like that. But Triss was very, very good. I think she was probably the most popular not permabanned AD carry at Worlds. So ever since they nerfed Caitlyn, I think that was in fact like 7.14, up until the preseason, Tristana had been the best. And then for some reason, everyone just went away from her. I think people just kind of lost sight of her because Jhin and Miss Fortune were so good with sorcery once people figured that out. That people just lost sight of her. And then Vayne has gotten a lot better too since they changed her Q around to give her a better AD ratio, and they gave her a longer duration ult. And then Twitch is just always good whenever you get a free pass in the early game, which is what's kind of going on right now because he can take Relic Shield Targons and just like Taste of Blood, and just like he'll have a support that also has Targons, potentially has a heal if it's something like an Alistar or a Taric. So Twitch can basically get a free pass in the laning phase, which makes him very strong too. So I think Tristana is definitely top 5 though. I think she's pretty good. So I would still go Press the Attack, Triumph, Alacrity, Coup de Grace, Taste of Blood, and Eyeball Collection. Is what I'd go with her. Now, I would probably start with Relic Shield these days. I mean, this, I believe Dylan recorded this before the Relic Shield craze kind of came in. But Relic Shield's really, really good right now for 80 carries. It gives extra gold to your support so they can get their Knight's Vow, their Face of the Mountain, all that kind of stuff faster. And it gives you a really good shield, and it has and it has Bandit on it. So this is something that they added in the preseason that a lot of people overlooked, and that I overlooked too. Until I was watching some streams the other day, and I noticed this. I was watching a Smoothie stream, I believe, and he pointed out that this is one of the main things. Every time you auto-attack somebody, you get 3 gold, and you get 1 gold for each nearby minion killed by an ally. Well, that's not going to happen in lane most of the time, but you are going to get the extra 3 gold, which does add up. I mean, even getting just 15 extra hits per minute is basically equivalent to 1 extra CS. So after 10 minutes of laning, it's like you have 10 extra CS, which is really nice. Then you also get to heal for 2% of your missing health. This is something that was added on. So it's not just healing for 15 like it used to be, but if you're missing, like 300 health, then you get an extra 6, which is healing for 21. Pretty good. Then it still has respectable health. Then once you get it up to Targon's Brace, and you get the 2 gold per 10, of course. That's another 6 gold per minute. Then you get the Shield Battery, which is really nice. I mean, it's basically the equivalent of having, like, a lot of the game, like a 300 shield, which is like an 800 gold value. in addition to overheal giving you even more shield. It's very good. Firewall has a pretty good video about this. It's like 4 minutes long. If you just look up like Targons or Relic, I forgot what it is, but why ADCs are really good right now with overheal and Targons. The one thing Firewall forgot to mention that was Bandit, which is a pretty big deal because that's a lot of extra gold generation. That's why a lot of people are getting this. So that is one thing that I would start off like at the start of Season 8 getting is this Relic Shield line. It also heals your support, so it not only heals you, but it heals your support, and it gives your support a lot of extra gold. And supports right now, a lot of the tank supports are getting things that help AD carries a lot. So they're getting Face the Mountain for the extra shield, they're getting Knight's Vow for the protection, then they're getting Locket. So you just have all the shields. You have the Relic Shield, or the Targon Shield basically coming in, and then, you know, they're going to give you Locket, they're going to give you Face the Mountain, they're going to give you Knight's Vow. So you're going to have a lot of these personal shields that make it very, very difficult to cut through all of that and kill you. And you're going to have the overheal shield as well. So, you know, you're just going to have like 1,500, you know, health worth of shields in team fights all the time. And it just makes it very, very difficult to kill you. So that's what I would start. And I think that's just a lot better than Doran's Blade. As long as you can still last hit. That's the issue, is you're going to lose the 8 AD. So if you have a hard time last hitting, you may want to consider going something else, but it has similar health on it. You just lose the AD. It has about the equivalent of the lifesteal. So you're trading 8 AD for a lot of gold generation. And 8 AD is worth a decent amount. I mean, 8 AD is worth 8 AD is worth like 270 gold or so. I mean, let me just look real quick. I know AD is worth 35 gold each. Yeah, 280. So you're trading out 280 gold worth of... I'm pretty sure Doran's has 80 health on it, so that's about the same. You know, give or take like 13 gold. But, you know, losing the 280 gold, so I guess you're losing about 300 gold worth of value off of it, if you include the loss of 5 HP. But you're getting 2 gold per 10, so that's about 6 gold per minute. And then even if you only hit people 5 times in lane, that's an extra 15. That's 21 gold per minute. So after 10 minutes, it basically, maybe 11 minutes. Somewhere, you know, like somewhere between 11 to 15 minutes, depending on how often you're able to get these procs. Until it pays for that difference. But then also, remember, once you get that Targon's Brace shield for 300 going on there, that's where you start getting the big value once you upgrade. That gives you an 800 gold value of a shield in a team fight. And don't forget, you're giving your support. So, yeah, it might take you 11 to 15 minutes to personally get those extra stats, but your support is getting an extra, you know, let's see. So if you upgrade a Targon's early, it's every 30 seconds, which you should be upgrading this on your first back a lot of times. It does give you a nice upgrade path, too, sort of. I don't know. That's tough because, you know, you want to get your BF sword. But this does open up an option if you have to back early and you don't have enough for BF sword, then you can get, like, boots, Targons, or something like that. And some people have started going, like, I don't know if I agree with this, but, like, Static Shiv early on for better wave clear and just a little bit of a faster power spike than Infinity Edge. I'm not sure the exact permutations of when you would want to do what. For like every scenario, but I think that like being able to upgrade Targons for 500 early to give even more gold generation is great. I mean, even at just 45 seconds, or every 40 seconds rather, you're still giving your support, you know, at least an extra 20 gold. If you hit, you're not going to be able to sit and wait and get the cannon minion, so a lot of times, because you're going to have to last hit just whatever comes up that you have to last hit, but you're going to give them at least 20 gold per minute. So, you know, that's after 10 minutes. It gives you an extra 200 gold. So if you look at it that way, then you're generating basically 20 gold plus 6. That's 26 gold. Plus bandit procs, 15. That's 41 gold per minute. So 300. We'll just say 45 just to make it a nice round number. You know, it'd pay for itself in 6.5 minutes if you include the gold that you're giving your support, which once again is going to buff you. Like, yes, it's not personally your gold, but since everyone's running tank supports, and even if they're running an enchanter support, you know, they're still going to be getting things like Ardent Sensor or Redemption. They're going to be getting stuff that's going to increase your fighting power. Okay, so whether it's Face of the Mountain or whether it's Ardent Sensor still or whatever, they're going to be getting stuff that benefits you most of the time. And so this gold is effectively helping you out still. So that's about, you know, 6.5 minutes where that's going to start to pay for itself. And then it pays dividends further. And that's not even including the bonus health that you get off of this. So anyways, long way of saying Relic Shield. Get Relic Shield on every 80 carry right now until they nerf something about that. Okay, Suppress the Attack, Triumph, Alacrity, Coup de Grace, Taste of Blood. You still want to work towards Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, Rapid Fire Cannon. You want to max your E, your Q, your W. And then somewhere in here you want to sneak in and get that second upgrade on the Relic. Now, remember, that's going to give you gold generation faster, and it lowers the time down to 30 seconds, and you can get 3 charges off of it. So that's a big increase. That's like a 25% increase in gold generation when you upgrade this, because it goes from 40 seconds to 30 seconds, which is, you know, 1/4 of 40 is 10, so that's 25%. And then that's when you get the shield battery as well. So I would recommend, and you get the extra health regen in lane, which is really nice. And the flat health. So it's worth it to upgrade this. I don't think you want to delay your BF sword that much, but somewhere between like BF sword and Static Shiv, it's a good idea to go ahead and upgrade this somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into a game here. I don't want to take too long before we get down to the what's going on here. Now this is through YouTube. That's when he wanted me to do this. So we'll watch some of the champ select, and I'll walk through some of the decisions here and what their team comp's looking like. See if we can speed this up a little bit. That's fine. Starting Season 8, I would ban, I'd ban Vayne to start. If Vayne's banned, ban Twitch. I used to ban Leona, but I think she's been nerfed enough where she's fine compared to other things like Shin or Alistar. I feel like they are similar to Leona right now in terms of just hard engage or blitzcrank. Yeah. Taste. Nah, I think it's too late game. Tristana already has a really good late game. This is perfect. What do you... Against either Lux or Vhagar? I think that's being too safe. I would go for Taste of Blood. Gives you some reliable regen in lane. Trophy or Eyeball Collection gives you more AD as you scale. It's possible you could go for like Boots Biscuits. I think that's legit. But I think that Sorcery... Now, at the time of the recording of this video, I'm pretty sure it was before Sorcery was a thing. Dylan recorded these before he sent them over to me. So he had them in his stash for a little bit before he uploaded them. It has been a little bit since he submitted these to me. He's been playing a lot of World of Warcraft lately. Hopefully we'll get him back on the good side. But I kind of lost track of these with all the hospitalization stuff that was going on over the last couple of weeks, and I was just filtering through my emails. I was like, oh, I got it. I got to catch up in these. But I think he hasn't even really been playing League the last little bit, so I hope he's cool with it. Sorry, Dylan. But we'll get him back at the start of the season. I think he still plans on coming out and playing with us on Viewers Night at least. And then I know he'll come back over to the good side. Sometimes you just get that World of Warcraft itch. I could appreciate that. Let me go ahead and slow this down here. And his coaching videos will hype him back up. Get hyped, Dylan. Come back to League. I do think it's going to be a fun season. I've heard they have some pretty good stuff in store. They might be changing around some of the Sightstone stuff at the support role. Dylan was, he played support a lot. You know, he got from Bronze 5 to Gold 5 playing support. This is his Smurf. where he's trying other roles. He's playing a lot of AD carry. I've done some. He did a Kassadin mid-game, so he's done some, like, non-support games, but I have that second monitor hooked up as well that I'm going to have for, hopefully have the stuff set up for tonight's stream. Dylan donated for that second monitor. Okay. So thanks for that as well, Dylan. Alright, so Soraka, yeah, someone's playing on like a toaster or something over there. I think you should outscale him. I don't think you have to do anything that fancy. I assume it's Lux bottom. Don't get hit with binds. You should be fine. Now, Soraka has Comet, which is a little worrisome. And her secondary is Resolve. So I guess she went Revitalize, which is not terrible. But I mean, she's not going to have Zombie Ward, so your vision's going to suffer. Lux doesn't have Zombie Ward either, though, so I guess that's alright. It's going to be Vagar middle, I assume. Wait, hold on. Thresh top? Oof. I'm going to skip forward a little bit on this.
30 seconds until minions spawn. If it's worth shooting once, it's probably worth shooting lots.
Okay. Now, we've talked about the camera lock thing before. I mean, if that floats your boat, if that helps you out, it's good. But I think eventually, you know, you want to train yourself off of having that on by default. There are some pro players, I'm not sure exactly who, but I know that Dyrus used to lock his camera in combat. Sometimes, like, if you're actually in a fight and you have a hard time keeping track of where your champion is, which happens to all of us from time to time, then you can camera lock. But I think, you know, in general, as I've described before, it really lowers your ability to jump around the map and see other stuff. And it's important to click. Okay, there you go. Well, maybe not. It's important to be able to click around the map just when you're walking somewhere, like when you're walking back to lane or something, just to click on the other lanes and just sort of see what's going on, or use like your F keys. Just sort of jump around other lanes and just sort of see what the status is. Okay. So yeah, you should outscale Corki. Now, they are very dangerous early. Like, if Lux gets a bind, Corki does a lot of damage early. Corki's power spike is really, like, early on, he has a lot of abilities that do a lot of damage. Now, so does Trist with her bomb. Heal. I'd go ahead and heal. Okay. I think you could have healed and maybe jumped on her and gone all in. I think you're being a bit conservative there. Okay. One more. Nice. Okay, very good. Yeah, after she binded you, especially after they use their heal, Lux doesn't have a lot of escapes other than her flash. Okay. Ping Soraka to help you push this. Like, drop, as soon as your bomb's up, drop your bomb on these back minions here. I'm, like, pointing to the screen like you can see that. You need to push faster. You need to put a bomb on these and push. Tell her to push. Say, help me push, or something. You gotta ping her and tell her. Like, she should have been dropping star calls on that, and you need to back. Back. No, do not stay. No. Because now you have no advantage. It's just like that double kill never happened. They might have an advantage on you now, because they're probably going to come back with fresh potions, and you're out of potions. No, you needed a back right there. See, now you're screwed. Well, just back. It's still pushed into them. You're not going to lose too much, but back. You still had a chance because it's pushed into them, but you need to get out of here. I understand that you have a Soraka, and she can probably heal you through this, but, you know, you have 900 gold you could be flexing on them with right now. Even if it's just a pickaxe, that's a big deal early on. I mean, a pickaxe doesn't seem like much. It's not a BF sword. It's still 25 AD, which is still, like, 700 gold worth of power? It's something like that. Gold worth of stats? Might be more than that. I can't do the math off the top of my head. I mean, it costs 875, and it's probably at least somewhere near gold efficient, so... It's not getting a ton of power. You need to push this in. Y'all need to back. I mean, also, don't forget, Soraka gets to upgrade her gold items. That means she will get to Ardent Sensor faster. Orb Redemption, whatever she chooses to get. Yeah, y'all got it back. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. It doesn't even matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter what Soraka's doing. Like, I know you're probably wanting your BF sword, and it worked out here, but, like... You guys were out of resources. I mean, I guess you had both sums if the jungler came, but in general, just after you get kills, you need to back and buy something. Yeah, I think going... Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. I think going BF sword and a static shiv is a thing. Okay. So it did work out, but there are a lot of times where that would not work out as well as it did. Because they're actually ahead of you, as I explained, because they get to come back with items. Like, even though they're not going to have a lot, even just a couple of potions could be a really big deal this early in the lane. So, I know it's unfavorable to get the pickaxe. It's this awkward item. Like, I wish they'd work on the ADC itemization a little bit. Because BF Sword just sucks. It just feels really bad to get that item. But there just aren't a lot of other good items. Like, I wish they would just make it build out of long swords. Because if you'll notice... Well, hold on. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, good. Don't forget you have heal. Oof, I was very close on that Soraka, but you got it. I probably would have just healed in there somewhere. I mean, it's better just to use it and not need it than to not use it and need it, you know? You guys can turn on him. There you go, heal. Good. Great. But you'll notice, like, so a big problem is getting those big items sucks because it does things like, you know, bait people to stay longer than they should because they need that price point, right? They need that 1,200 gold. I think it's 1,200. It used to be 1,350. They changed the price of that item around so much. But you need your BF Sword Gold. And historically, with AP supports, that was also a problem, as you were waiting on your Rod of the Ages, right? So you had to wait on your 1,250 for Rod of the Ages. But they fixed that really well with AP carries. You notice nobody rushes a Rod item anymore? Because they've taken Rod out of the core items of AP. Right? Everybody goes Morellonomicon. Why do they go Morellonomicon? Because it has really nice build paths, right? So you can get your Forbidden Tome or whatever that thing is called that gives you the mana regeneration. You get CDR in there. It has a lot of amp tomes in it, is the deal, which are cheap, easy to buy items. Right? And then also your other option is Rod of the Ages, which once again is pretty nice. You have the components to get to Catalyst, which helps you through lane. So Catalyst gives you mana, helps you through lane. So does Forbidden Tome. I know I'm not getting the name of that right, but whatever that thing is that get the 900 gold that gives you the mana whenever you level up. Those are the two most popular items. Like, and they took Rod of the Ages out of Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So Rod of the Ages really only builds into, and they took it out of, I think it was part of Zonya's Hourglass at some point. But yeah, they need to do something like that with 80 carries. Which is one of the big perks of like a lethality 80 carries. You can build, it builds out of longswords, right? Or some of the on-hit stuff like Blade of the Ruined King builds out of some more useful components. Like you get all these like 300 gold components. Right, you get a lot of daggers, you get your bilge water, which is a nice little power spike in there. Where Infinity Edge just feels bad because you have to get a BF sword, which sucks. Like, it's nice if you complete it, but if you have to go back with like 1100 gold, it just feels really bad. Just the back timings are really awkward and awful, and then pickaxe feels pretty bad too. And all you're getting is flat AD. You're not getting any utility. You're not getting any extra like useful early game stats. But it's so strong. Like, Infinity Edge is still the best. So I wish they would just rejigger it a little bit, make it build out of longswords. But anyways. Okay, you're doing well so far here. I know I went on an aside, but you're just basically stomping these people bottom at this point. Like, there's not a lot to say. I would have ulted him a little faster. Go ahead and ult him. Go ahead and ult him. A little... it was a little slow on that ult. Let me go back a little bit here. Keep in mind, like, right here, when he jumps like that... I mean, I guess you don't want to blow him on there because you're afraid he's going to kill the Soraka. I guess that's legit. I guess so. I was thinking, like, if you blow him, it's going to knock him under tower and he's going to take a tower shot, but it would definitely kill a Soraka if he did that. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it does a lot of damage, and then he would take a tower shot before he could wake up and use an auto, I think. That was kind of weird. I guess that was pretty good play overall. Okay, good shot, Colin. Good itemization. Try to tab a bit more and see sort of what's going on. I'm not sure. Maybe you did it a couple times. Just so you can see the items. Yeah, you had heal. I think you had heal. I mean, you just auto attack. There's nothing magical about it. But I think you could have healed him there. Well, Soraka, then quit running out of position. Like, that's not your fault that she died there. She could have run back, like, towards the tower. Or, like, stayed in your heal range. Or, like, respected the fact that Corki had package and not try to go up there and auto him. So I don't think that was your fault. That was a nice dodge. Don't. Just let her go. A good dragon. Soraka, you don't set people up for kills, you heal people. Like, you're not an Alistar. Soraka's like mildly tilting me. I'm just watching. So you're doing a good job of managing her, like not really talking back to her. I mean, she's playing like she's playing Alistar or something. Oh, now you need to back up. You need to leave. What? It's 2v1, dude. Okay. Well, that heal did work out. You did have Zoe. You had Zoe on your back. I guess you're baiting for Zoe. You did have your heal up, and Soraka did have her ult. I suppose it's alright. It was scary, though. I thought for sure you're dead. Because Corki does so much damage right now until you complete a big item. Like, I don't know Corki's items either. Like, we need to tab and see his items. I'm sure he has at least a Sheen, which is a lot of damage. Early on. His power spike, he's going to hit his power spike faster than you. So, like, once he gets a Trinity Force, he's kind of off to the races. You really need to get, you know, Infinity and then Static before you start doing some massive damage. Tristana does way more damage over time than Corki, but he's going to have higher burst, in theory, for the first, you know, 20 minutes of the game. Yeah. Definitely want that. Then Static. Get those big, nasty crits. I think what they should build is like a mini, like just a little item, kind of like Crit Cloak that has AD on it. It's just crit plus AD rather than crit plus attack speed. And they should make that Infinity Edge. Like an Infinity Edge item. Like make it give like 10% crit and like some smaller amount of AD, like 20 AD or something like that. And make it like a, you know, like an 800 gold item that builds out of like longsword. And they should create a smaller crit item that just gives like, you know, 10% crit. Kind of like a dagger type of item for crit. And just have Crit Cloak build out of that. And then make an AD item that also builds out of that. And you would get that instead of BF Sword. And that would be so much better. To buy these little like dagger items for crit. Oh, Brawler's Gloves. What? They do have an item like that. It's called Brawler's Gloves. Yeah, just have it build out of a Brawler's Glove and a Longsword. Boom. Perfect. Just kind of like how they build the Zeal items. I think the Zeal items are great. Anyways. Okay, that was good. Nice rotation. You're going to give up bot for that. But you need to tab more. Like, I don't know what's going on in terms of, like, who's strong right now on their team. Obviously, your team's bigger, but if, like, all 6 of those kills are on Vhagar, I don't think they are, or something like that. Like, you need to know that. Yes, blast plan over. Ping, ping. Let them know that bot lane's going middle, probably. They're probably going, like, around the back of Dragon. Okay, they just went the safe way. Yeah, that's good. Oh. Let's go ahead and back. I mean, you got a Zeal item, right? Yeah, I would like to see a Brawler's Glove 80 item. I think that would make ADC feel a lot better, too. Yeah, you're too late up there. Just keep pushing. That was bad. They got away from... No, you gotta push. You gotta push it. Yeah, just bomb it. Q it. Drop as much as you can on it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, at least one's coming. Yeah, just be watching your minimap the whole time. I think it's time to go. I think they're coming back. Yeah, it's time to go. Time to go. Yeah, she wasted her flash because she didn't leave fast enough. Yeah, there's the way I knew that is, well, we saw Lux running down there. Lux is not going to run down and try to stop you, probably, if she doesn't have backup. Especially with Soraka watching her running down. And they just all left top lane. And there's nothing else on the map for them to do, so... Hang out. Whoa, watch out, watch out. If Lee Sin Qs, I want you to just R him. If Lee Sin hits you with a Q, just immediately try to R him. Knock him out of there. You can probably hit him before he connects with you with the Q, but even if he connects, that'll stop him from kicking you. It should. Okay. Alright. Okay. They're coming. After you get this, you gotta run. Soraka's not really warding anywhere, so you gotta play on the safe side. Even if they're not there, you gotta respect the fact they could be. Ping for your allies too, like tell them, like Thresh is gonna die. Probably. Yeah, they're trying to chase people into that red side. You gotta ping and let them know, like, hey, don't be there. A lot of people just don't realize that people could actually be in dark areas. Okay, good call. Yeah. I like the shot calling. A lot of people recognize, and I know you've heard me say this a lot of people recognize the right play if you call it, but they just won't think of it on their own. Because they're just too busy. They're just not thinking. They're just, like, in the zone. We got him. Yeah, you gotta blow him back or something. You can't sit there in melee combat with him. Like, you are really big, but he's also tanky and he does a lot of damage. Let me pause this. Okay. That Soraka build is... I don't even know what to say about that. Do people not understand how Warmogs works? Thresh has it also. Like, why are people rushing first item Warmogs? You don't have enough health to trigger it. Like, the whole reason you get Warmogs is because once you reach that 2750 HP threshold, then you get the bonus. But Soraka doesn't have any other, like, HP items. So there's no way she's at that threshold right now. So she's just, like, dramatically overpaying for flat health, so... And she doesn't have a Sightstone, and she doesn't have boots. So you gotta... I know this isn't a video about Soraka, but you gotta keep that in mind when you look at that. Just say, well, we're definitely not gonna get any vision. So... I would have actually kept yellow wards here. Just because you're not, like... In theory, yes, blue wards are good. But if your support's not gonna buy a Sightstone, you need more wards. And, you know, come to think of it, instead of, eyeball collection, I might just go zombie ward. Especially, like, in silver and bronze, I might just go zombie ward. And the reason is your yellow wards turn into 4-minute wards if they don't clear them. So then you actually get vision if your support doesn't buy Sightstone. So, I might consider just going zombie instead of eyeball collection. Just for that vision. Okay, what else is noteworthy here that we want to look at? Okay, so the people you want to play around on your team... Like, you want to try to team up with Echo, specifically Echo or Zoe right now, because they're going to be the most useful. On their team, you want to avoid... Obviously not... You don't want to fight Urgot by yourself in close combat with him. And then Vhagar can one-shot you. Corki's getting kind of powerful, but he still needs another couple of items. Or, like, he's got Trinity, but he needs Infinity to really make it worth it. I think that's what he's going for next. Okay. So good. Try to tab more often, though. But in general, yeah, when you're dead is a good time to tab. What we got going on here? Here, we'll run down while you're showing me this. Attack move. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. I would personally, I would watch some other video on YouTube to figure out attack move, like the optimal. I just do the old school, like A click, A click, A click. But you can bind it. I know there are some people that bind it to your right mouse button.
I just need a point in the right direction.
Or left mouse button. They'll bind it to their left mouse button. I don't know. I just do the old school like A move, A move, A move. You need to ping them back. If you're gonna do this down here, you need to ping them back. They're gonna die. Soraka's gonna cry about probably you not being there. Just be aware, if they lose that fight middle, then they're gonna get Baron. So you need to ping them back. Like, if you're gonna do this, at a minimum, you need to ping. And if you want to split like this, you need wards, because Soraka's not gonna give you wards. So you're gonna have to get. I would switch back to yellow ward, especially once you notice. Like, if you didn't notice earlier that she had Sightstone, you should have noticed off of that last tab. And you should switch back to yellow ward. Run, they're too low, they're too low. Just get out of there. You don't have any vision. Yeah, just clear this. I would try to go make a move top. Run over there, see if you can catch that big wave. Leave them alone, go see if you can catch top. That's a massive wave. You could easily get a tower off of that. Veigar's there. I think you could scare Veigar off, though, with that many minions. Okay. Yep, rapid fire's good. Watch out for Lee. Watch out for Lee. Okay.
Do you sell earplugs too? I might just try. Bring on the bad.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I think Corki does a bit more damage, yeah, than you would think. Yeah, Trinity does a lot on Corki, and he probably crits you. Trinity itself obviously can't crit. Yeah, they don't have armor. I guess Death Stance is fine. Like, a lot of people would get a Last Whisper item. You need to ping them back off that. Like, they might win, but it's 4v5, 3v5, and it's really risky. Like, if they die, they're going to get Baron. Thresh is definitely dead. Soraka's... I don't know. Just go get Infernal. Like, you need to ward Baron and then get Infernal. Okay, so I'm going to say don't jump forward often. Like, you jumped right on that Corki. Which, yeah, you do a lot of damage, but he does so much more burst damage than you because he has Trinity Force. So if he, like, presses R and then auto-attacks you, and he gets the Trinity proc, and he crits off his normal basic attack, you know, he can hit you for, like, 1200 or something. And he can almost one-shot you, even off of just 2 items. Also, Lee, like, you gotta see that Lee's building full damage, too. Like, if Lee just, you know, Q, kick, connects with the Q, like, he could almost one-shot you at this point, too. So there are a lot of things that can kill you. So even though you're really far ahead, you gotta remember that you're still very, very squishy. You're only 1400 HP. With virtually no armor. You need to be careful walking through here. If Lee gets you, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, it'd be really nice. Yeah, you got to have yellow ward. Y'all need to get out of there. Get out, get out, get out, get out. They're all going to be there. Just assume they're all doing the right thing in terms of macro, and then just be pleasantly surprised if they're not. So if you see one person there, they're probably all going to be there. You don't have wards. They left. They left. They're not doing it. We saw one of them walk out of there. No, no, no. Yeah, I think you got baited. You didn't have vision. I know it looks like he's really squishy, but he has his W to escape, and he can just flash over that wall, and then you're not gonna get a reset, and you're just gonna die. Pickaxe. Get the pickaxe. Yeah, try not to... I mean, it's cool. Like, I like that you're typing my bad, but don't type too much more because you're going to get them to read. And then they might start arguing with you about stuff. Like, just don't even... You can say my bad or something. That's fine. But you don't want to start a conversation with them.
Ooh, I like the look of this baby. You don't hurt him if you don't hit him.
Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it.
Where's the hell? More stories don't write themselves. Cannon fodder. I dare you to do. Where's the action?
Y'all need to be careful overloading bot. Well, I guess that's fine. You know, when Baron's up, but I don't... They can't do Baron without Corki, I'm pretty sure, so I guess that's fine. Watch out for Vhagar. You need to get a Quicksilver Sash, actually, because of Vhagar, and Lux. Okay, that was a good flay. I still don't think she has boots yet. Based on how slow she's moving. Yeah, you need a Quicksilver Sash. You know, instead of Death's Dance, I would get a Quicksilver Sash there. I forgot that they have Lux and Vhagar. So you haven't gotten stunned out a lot yet, but you've been hit a couple of times. More damage is good, but you do quite a bit already. Like, the way that you're going to die, most likely, other than just jumping in, is if Lux hits you with stuff. You need to run. If Lux binds you or Vhagar binds you, that's could potentially be a game loser at this point, because you have most of your team's gold. You are doing a good job staying out of the Veigar cage. I mean, one of the nice things about Triss is she has such long range that you can stay away from those kind of closer range stuns. You need to ping them back. If you want to go get this dragon, you need to... Because they're just going to die over there. Probably. I mean, I guess maybe not. I don't know. But it's certainly... You know, you've got the Thresh and the Soraka, like, trying to siege them by themselves. Quicksilver Sash. Yes, yes. Okay, good. That probably should have been the 5th item, honestly, instead of Death's Dance. But Death's Dance is okay. That does help you, prevent you from getting spiked. And it does give you a lifesteal item, which is really important, so... I guess, yeah, either Death's Dance or Bloodthirster would probably be... Probably be pretty good. Yeah, you need to get over there. They're gonna go for Baron. Well, your team just gets Baron, I guess. You need to try... Just go kill Corki, I guess, if you get the jump on him. Okay. He's got package, but it shouldn't matter. No, don't jump into his package. Okay. That's fine. You just crush him at this point. Okay. Let's push up middle. I think you going bot was fine. Like, they should have just backed up, but... I think that ended up a lot better than it could have. Like, you guys are so far ahead in gold that you just kind of... Your team's just kind of getting away with some bad habits here. Like Thresh and Soraka trying to solo push with no vision middle. I guess not solo push, but duo push. Oops. Echo does a lot of damage at this point, so... Yeah, you need to ping them out of middle. They're about to 2v5 middle. I mean, they might be able to do it like Echo and Zoe do a ton of damage. Just keep pushing, though. You're too late to be over there. Backups, you're not taking hits. There you go. Like, splitting is fine here because you can 1v1 anyone on their team, and you're getting, you know, you're getting some advantages now, but you need to ping middle back. Like, you need to tell them, back up, I'm splitting. Like, I know it's obvious to most people paying attention, but they're just, like I said, a lot of the times, the biggest problem in Silver and Bronze, and I believe this is a Silver 5 game, is people just don't pay attention. They're just not thinking. They're just autopilot. Like I said, they'll understand the right play if you call it out a lot of times. Sometimes they won't. But you'd be surprised, a lot of people at this ELO, they will understand the right play. They just won't think of it themselves because they're on autopilot. And they're just not paying attention. But if you just tell them, like, hey, let me split, we can do this. A lot of times they might do it. QSS, QSS, yeah, there you go. No, 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 no. Yeah, don't jump forward. Like, I know you're thinking, like... At that point, you're probably thinking he just wasted his cage. But yeah, you know, this has happened, like... however many, 4 times this game. And I know you know that I'm going to say something about that in the coaching session. But, yeah, just don't jump forward. Because you don't need to. Like, all you need to do, like, when he's running, just let him run and get this inhibitor. Like, who cares if he gets away? Like, you're full build. You actually gain 0 benefit from gold at this point. Like, the only benefit you have for gold is... Yeah, I just don't think that... I don't think Nullifying Orb's doing enough for you there. You're still getting one shot by Veigar. It doesn't matter. If he traps you in that cage and you don't have QSS, then you're dead. Soraka still does not have boots. Or a sightstone. Or any item that gives plus healing or shielding. But yeah, so, I mean, you gain no benefit. Like, the only thing that you get off of gold at this point are flasks. So, or whatever they're, elixirs. The 500 gold AD item. The consumable. But, yeah, so you gain nothing off of gold. So there's no point in kills, you know? Like, just get the structures. Like, the only point in kills right now is it enables you to get structures. Because people can't defend them. So if they're just running away, like, not defending them anyways, like, if you just chunk Vagar out like that, and you have a chance just to take that inhibitor, just take it. So if you get that third inhibitor, it's probably lights out. I mean, it's like 6 supers per lane, you know, or not per lane, but 6 total. Don't jump, don't, oh god. Like, you'll probably beat him, but what if he has ult? Okay, you're gonna get him. Alright, you pulled it off. That was a really good game. That was a really good game overall. Like, I don't have as much to say about that one as some of these other ones. But we'll chip in what we can here. Okay, so... Alright, so number 1 obviously is... So, be very careful about using that W4. The enemy, and we saw it all this game, right? We saw they had flash to get away, like to jump out into darkness. They would Zhonya's you. They would have ult. You know, they would have some kind of backup hiding somewhere. Especially if you don't have vision. So, Soraka was not giving vision at all. And so, you know, you just have to play around that. You have to play very scared. You have to play very back. And a lot of times, if you just force them out of position, right? So if you just force them to run away, you can just get a tower, or get an inhibitor, or whatever. You don't have to kill them. I mean, killing is nice, obviously, but... We'll use some caveman talk there to get it all in one line. But consider keeping your yellow trinket if the support doesn't have sightstone. That'll allow you to keep more vision on the maps. You're going to have 2 uses of that trinket. So, perhaps consider using Zombie Ward plus Yellow Trinket if it's silver or bronze, or frankly even yellow, like gold. That just feels so powerful, because you get 4-minute wards, basically, on a relatively short cooldown. So you run the risk of, like, even if your support does have sightstone, like, there's a decent chance that they're just not going to ward correctly. And so just having those zombie wards, because remember, if your own ward times out, then of course you get a zombie ward for it. So you don't even have to sweep wards to get zombies. You get zombies off your own wards. So a big part of that game was vision, because a lot of the times when you died jumping forward, it was because other people came out of the fog of war and killed you. And you could have pressured harder bot lane if you knew they weren't rotating on you. So there were a lot of times where vision is really important, as it always is. So I think maybe keeping that yellow ward if your team's just not warding enough, and consider using zombie as well, going Taste of Blood plus zombie. Could be a good option. Okay, so tab more to check out items, play around your strength, and avoid the enemy's strength. So, I mean, obviously you guys snowballed that game really hard. You were a lot of the strength, but figure out who else is really strong on your team. So, like, Echo, and mostly Echo. Who was your... I don't remember who your jungler was, but like Echo was the #1 person that I would probably try to pair up with. So try to go play around Echo, like just stay with him, and then you know that you can both go around, and they're not going to kill you if you're both there because you both have all of your team's gold. Whoever has the most kill has the most gold on the team usually, and not always the case, but often they're going to have the most influence. So they're going to have the most power. So you want to protect your gold. You want to be around the gold. So you had the most probably, and then Echo was probably second most. And so you want to get your gold together and avoid their gold. So just think of it as like just clumping up your resources, right? So if you have more gold in a fight than they do, you're probably going to win. It's not always the case. That's a really oversimplified answer because scaling comes into effect there, obviously, and positioning and decision-making and all that. But just in general, in the abstract, if you have more gold in a fight than they do, I would say that statistically, you're more likely to win that fight. I don't think that's a false statement. There are other factors, but what that means is, like I said, if you are with the other people with a lot of gold, you're probably going to win. Especially if they don't have their gold person there. So, like, if Veigar's off splitting a side lane, which he was sometimes, I think he had some of the most gold on their team. So if he's off splitting a side lane and you can fight with Echo somewhere, then that's going to bring all of your gold together in a fight, and they're not going to have their gold to Veigar in a fight. And so you're very highly likely to win that fight. Whereas on the flip side, if you're down splitting bot lane, then Echo's running around with like Thresh and Soraka in the mid lane, and they have their Veigar there, and like whoever else had the second most gold on their team, then it's likely that they're probably going to win that fight because you have a lot of gold on your team and you're not there. So I think splitting is okay because you guys kind of needed to split because you didn't have very good siege. Echo's melee, and then Thresh and Soraka don't do anything. And I don't even remember who the jungler was. But you didn't have a very good siege comp, so you did need someone to split. You were the most powerful 1v1 person, so it makes sense that you would split. But you need to shot call more if you're going to do that. So tell the team to play safer when you split. So you did a good job shot calling, like, go get Dragon, let's go do this. But you got to tell them. And I know you're thinking, man, it's obvious. Why would they do that? They're just not paying attention. They're just on autopilot. They're just like, oh, they just see a lane, you know, a wave pushed up, and they're just sitting there listening to their music, or they're just like, you know, texting their friend or something. They're just on autopilot. They're not thinking. They're just like walking up and killing minions in a lane. They're not paying attention to, oh, there's no vision on either side of us right now, or oh, we have our Tristana with a ton of gold in a side lane. She's not here to help us. They could be collapsing on us right now with 3 or 4 people. They're just not thinking about that stuff. So just tell them. Just say, back up, wait for them to come to me, or something like that. Like, just tell them something quick. Like, ping back, say, be careful, let me split. So you just have to constantly remind them of that. Just constantly zone them in. Get them to pay attention. So this is something that I talked about earlier, is backing. Even if it's just to get a pickaxe, even if it's just to get boots and a couple more potions, or, you know, whatever. Like, you need to get an advantage. After you get a kill, you need to come back with an advantage. Because if you stay in that lane, then they're going to come back with items. Now, you killed them so early that they're probably only going to come back with potions. And you do have a Soraka to heal you up. And it worked out this game. But I think in a lot of games, it's going to come back to bite you if you don't go spend your money. Like, as soon as you get a kill, you push them in a tower, ping that Soraka, tell her to push faster, push them in a tower, go back, buy some items. Even if it's just, you know, a Doran's Blade, or, like I said, boots, or a dagger, or anything. Just get that gold, in, you know, off of your, just get it out of your purse, get it out of your wallet, and put it in your inventory, right? So you need to go back and shop. You need to buy that stuff so that you have strength. Because if you don't buy it, then there's no point in getting a kill. Like, the only advantage you're going to have is an experience advantage in lane, which is meaningful, but you're not going to be able to pressure them and really push your advantage. There will be a lot of games where you've got, you know, your top lane and your mid lane just feeding out of control, and you just have to absolutely stomp that bot lane and rotate as fast as possible to go help them. And so you're on the clock. In a lot of games, you need to massacre your lane and get out of there and go do something else, right? So if you're just sitting there and you let them come back with potions and you don't go by until you get your BF sword, then they're basically getting a free pass. Like, you know, they made a mistake, but you're not punishing them for it, because you're not getting the items to punish them, right? So they're just going to get to sit there and farm with you because you're not going to have enough kill pressure on them. Because now you're not going to have your summoners anymore. You're going to be low on potions. You could potentially be low on mana after stuff like that. And they're going to come back with potions, and they're just going to farm off with you. And, you know, you're going to have a lot less of an advantage. So you need to, anytime you get a kill in lane, you know, you need to push them in, go back, buy, spend that money, get it in your inventory. Okay, I think that's it that I have for you. Overall, very good game. I thought, you know, the biggest thing was just not Wing forward, and you knew that. Like, you always are like, oops, whenever you did that. So you knew it. You just got to put into practice what you know you should do. And I'm guilty of doing this too. A lot of times I know better, but I do it anyways. So just put that into practice. Consider keeping the yellow trinket if your support doesn't have Sightstone. Tab more. Pay attention to who's strong, who's not strong. Play around your strength. Communicate to your team to play safer, and be sure to back after kills so that you get a bigger advantage in lane. And that's going to be it. Thank you very much, Dylan. I always appreciate it. Hope the World of Warcraft's treating you well. Come back to us. Come back to the light. I think Dylan will be back to hang out with us, at least for a couple of streams every now and then, hopefully. And that's going to be it. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see everybody next time.